Hi there, everybody. Welcome into the Kumo Theater. We've got a live demo about to happen over here.
It's more of a presentation.
Those are always fun.
Okay.
A presentation. Okay. Those are always fun, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you never know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
So come on
I am
over.
alive, so that's good.
You are.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, so I am here with Mark Gabbard, and tell us what you're going to be presenting today.
So today we're going to be talking about some customer best practices that our customers have used to not only transition to the cloud, but also to enable DevOps in their environments. So I'm going to go over some, 4 real use cases and really talk about ways that our customers have utilized PagerDuty.
Okay, so basically migration to the cloud.
Migration to the cloud, and then also not just migrating workloads, but migrating people, right?
Aha.
And really making sure that their responders and teams are also have the ability to adopt all the new stuff that's coming with cloud.
Okay, to make life easier.
Exactly.
All right, so come on in, everybody. We're going to get started right now. Taking the stage is PagerDuty, so please welcome Mark Gabbard.
Is that it? All right. Hi, everyone. So my name is Mark Gabbard. I'm a product marketing director at PagerDuty. And before I start, I just want to know, has everybody heard of PagerDuty? No? Yes? Okay. Does anybody have PagerDuty on their phone right now? No? No apps? Has anybody been on call? So when something goes bump in the night, are you the ones that get called? So I'm with you, though. I feel your pain. So and it's interesting that PagerDuty is a kind of a love-hate affair. People love our solution. We have about almost 10,000 customers, but ultimately they hate us because we are the ones that are waking them up in the middle of the night. So, but it's all good. So today I'm going to be talking about just really the migration to cloud, and really not only migrating your workloads up to the cloud, but also making sure your people and your teams and responders and developers are also have the ability to take advantage of all the cool things that come with cloud. So it's really around instilling the DevOps culture into this whole cloud migration, and ultimately look at the entire workflow or the life cycle of the migration, and making sure that those things continue to be accelerating. So we're kind of in that second or maybe even third wave of cloud migration. So initially, when certainly large organizations looked at the cloud, they looked at very specific new applications or bringing on things that were a little bit outside the norm. And certainly why we're all here today and what we're seeing in the marketplace is we're now migrating mission critical applications to the cloud. So whether it's your supply chain, your order management system, there's a lot of complexity happening here. There's a lot of risk, but still, you need to do this in order to cut costs and also make sure that you're able to deliver the services at the speed that your customers, both internally and externally, are looking to get those services delivered. But as we all know, it's not going to be easy. And a recent Forrester study stated that only 40 or less than 40% of people that actually migrate applications or mission critical applications or workloads to the cloud are actually going to be successful or meet their goals. And certainly it's over half of them are going to be spending at least $1 million or more. But I'm here to tell you that it's not going away, right? It's still going to happen. And certainly 2/3 of all workloads are projected to actually be in the cloud by 2020. So it's really about making sure that IT as an organization continue to speed up this migration and certainly adopt modern processes and technologies along the way. Now the cool thing is we have close to 10,000 customers. This number is actually a little low, and coming from all kinds of different areas. And the great thing is we've learned a lot from them because they are all going through this cloud migration. And the interesting part is it doesn't happen all at once, right? So there's going to be points in time where there's some workloads out in the cloud. There's things that are in in your data center, and these hybrid environments exist. And at the same time, you have a whole bunch of new tooling that you're bringing on, and you have legacy tooling that you have as well. So really, I'm going to go through some kind of key best practices that we've learned from our customers, and really talk about some specific customer examples of how they leverage these in their cloud migration activities. So first and foremost, it's really about collecting and harnessing digital signals. So I talked a little bit about you have things that are in your data center. Maybe you have older tooling, but then certainly you're bringing in a bunch of new stuff like we're seeing here, like New Relic is over here, maybe Palo Alto Networks. Maybe you're leveraging things like the AWS tools. All those things are coming in, so these signals are actually growing and growing and growing. And really, how do you make sense of that? So really, that first point is how do you collect and harness those digital signals? The second thing is how do you actually have visibility into the services with all this information? And how do you use machine learning as well as human interaction with that to actually make sense of your service health and ultimately be able to detect issues a lot earlier in this life cycle, right? And certainly as your teams start to adopt these new great technologies, they start speeding up deployments, you want to make sure that these teams have the agility that they need to meet both project goals as well as customer and user needs. And then at the end of this, really, this is actually very sensitive. So is getting insights for operations health. And this is actually pretty interesting. So it's not just health of your services, but also the health of your teams and the people that are responding to all this information that's coming back at them. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that means and how some of our customers have leveraged basically insights around how people are acknowledging and reacting to all the alerts and events that are coming at them. So let's talk about collecting and harnessing digital signals. So I'm sure you all heard of Allstate Insurance, but they process over 16 million households. So huge amount of data coming through. And they are actually on a cloud migration path where they're taking a lot of legacy tools and they're pushing them into the cloud. And at the same time, they're adopting DevOps capabilities. So they have about 120 to 150 different applications that they're using and about 500 developers. So really it's about connecting all this telemetry that they're gathering on these applications and making sure that the developers have the information that they need in order to make sure that the systems are up and running, that the new applications like the mobile app that we're seeing here are available, and really being able to be more proactive. So it's really about leveraging those digital signals through PagerDuty a lot better in order to do so. So the second one is that service visibility and early detection. So one of our customers, NBC, is responsible for streaming just about any content. So we're talking about NBC News, the Today Show, things like that. And they have about 50 million unique users on their services at any given time, and 1.2 billion page views, and 140 million online video streams each month. So we're talking about some major scale here. Now the interesting thing is the only way that anyone can dissect all the information that's coming around is to create specific services to understand each of those services. And then what NBC was able to do is they set up 50 or more different services inside of PagerDuty. And it allowed them to take thousands of alerts that they were getting from these systems and actually boil them down to just the most important ones and really automate the next steps that needed to be taken with that information. So they use a combination within our systems around machine learning and also human interaction to get that done. So definitely huge scale. But what they said was the result of this is basically having this type of capability was almost equal to having like an additional DevOps engineer on their team. So the next one is around team agility, and Staples is one of our customers. Huge online area. I think they do something like $14 or $15 billion just online alone. I'm assuming that this holiday season is going to up that quite a bit. But really, they are not only embracing sort of the cloud migration, they're also moving to more DevOps. And the interesting part is they wanted their teams to be more agile, not just around setting up different services or making sure workloads are working, but actually getting telemetry around the business, around how pages are being loaded, what things are people clicking on, what things are not available within their website, and actually getting notifications for that to be agile enough to make changes to their environment to actually impact overall revenue, right? So can I make sure a product is higher in the search algorithm because more people are actually hitting that? So the last one is around insights and operations, and I think this is actually pretty unique. So if you guys have ever heard of SendGrid, they send somewhere between like 30 billion emails every single month. So if you ever got an email notification from Airbnb or from Uber or even from Costco, they're actually delivering these to make sure it gets into people's inboxes. Now the interesting part here is not just about the health of your systems, it's really about the health of your teams, right? So we all know we're getting bombarded all the time with different alerts, whether I have a Slack notification, somebody's emailing me. And I think what we're able to do and what a lot of our customers are able to do is leverage the data that's within PagerDuty to not only make sure your services are up and running, but also to make sure your teams are healthy, that you're not burning out your responders, you're not burning out your teams. The term is called human ops. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Human ops, and really it allows you to leverage the PagerDuty data to actually make changes within your team. Rebalance them. Maybe this person doesn't need to be on call as much. Maybe they're getting too many notifications. But ultimately, what it does is it saves you money because we did a study and it costs about $300,000 to replace a DevOps engineer. So think about the downtime if someone quits. Think about having to spread that load across other people, overtime, recruiting fees, all those things. So what they were able to do is leverage our data to really improve the human portion of DevOps. So how do we do this? So we call it Digital Operations Management, and it's our platform. It starts with an enterprise class platform at the bottom. We use on-call management and notifications to make sure that as the data comes in, it gets to the right people. We use a mix of machine learning and human interaction to have intelligence and automating those next steps. At the same time, we can engage people in major incidents, whether it's your stakeholders or line of business owners that need to know about it, with a different type of message versus something that a resolver would need as a more technical type of message. On top of that, we give analytics and visibility on what's happening within those incidents, and then ultimately an extensible platform that allows you to integrate with just about anything, whether it's an event or whether it's an alert. And we have the industry-leading integration, so we have 200 plus. So certainly CloudWatch is actually our number one integration. I think half of our close to 10,000 customers are integrating with CloudWatch, but certainly Splunk, AppDynamics, Service Desk, any of your orchestration tools like Chef or Puppet. So we bring that all together, and it allows you to bring the data into service at the service level into PagerDuty, and allows you to react to all this telemetry that's coming in and making sure you're delivering an amazing service experience. So that was a quick view. I only had 15 minutes, but I encourage you guys to come and stop by our booth so to learn a little bit more. So we're at 2628, so we're right down the corner there. The great thing is we can give you a full demo of everything. So we have a lot of telemetry hooked up. We can show you the workflows, the automation. Also, like most software, you can go online. You can get a free trial going. So really easy to do, and happy to help you with that in any way. Now, my favorite slide is coming up. Come drink with us. Literally in, how long? In 15 minutes, we are hosting a pub crawl. It's right outside at Aquanox with our partners Datadog and Chef. So have a drink with us if you want to have some more conversation. We'd love to talk about your cloud transformation, DevOps, all kinds of things that would help you deliver a better service experience. That's all I got. Thanks.